If there's one thing we've learned in human history is that nothing can go wrong when we try to solve ecological problems with technology solutions. Today's Not So Critical update. So the theory is there's this area in space called Lagrangian point 1, which is a point of equilibrium in gravity between the Earth and the sun. And the idea is if we fill that space with bubbles, they will hold themselves in place but via this equilibrium and block some of the warming radiation from coming towards the Earth, thereby reducing global warming. I see no problems with this. The logic tracks.
I agree. We're almost about to get back to the political, not so political podcast, but
I didn't even see the political angle. Hit me.
Oh, well, I saw that first. I thought that's what you were throwing me under the bus for again. It's like all week long, this guy.
What did I miss?
So global warming, right? Is it real?
Oh, is there still debate about that? I didn't even assume that was a political issue anymore. That's like long settled, right? Obviously, there's global warming.
Obviously.
What?
So,
oh my God. What?
I mean, sure, the Earth
what are we about to do here?
This is crazy. Or two in the last 100 years.
Oh my God.
But the point is, regardless of if global warming is real or not.
I can't even believe we're still doing that. That's so 2010.
I think it's obvious from this story and others like it and things to come that technology will save us from our own pending doom. Like we can think our way out of this problem.
Well, that's a lot of faith in technology.
Well, not just technology, but human ingenuity. Like this, like freaking bubbles in the equilibrium point in space. Like that's genius. Like who thought of that?
You like this? You support this idea?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that this particularly is a great idea, but I'm just saying like the ideas like this need to be thought of and theorized and mapped out to see if they're feasible. And I think that eventually something will come along that's like, yeah, that's great. Like think about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Like that's just terrible. And there's a company or a nonprofit that created like a boat that will like open the front like a drawbridge and just scoop around the ocean and pick up the trash. Like that's human ingenuity, technology at work, saving the Earth from ourselves. Because we are definitely ruining the Earth. We're trying really hard.
And you could make the same argument about
trust.
Go ahead, Mikey.
I trust humanity to figure out a solution.
Yeah, and you could argue we're kind of doing that with solar power and renewable energy now. Yeah. So I hear you. It just feels to me like they describe it as a plan B. It feels like a way to maybe say, let's do this so we don't have to do any of the hard stuff, meaning the stuff that's going to cost the oil companies money, which is the one thing that's not on the table, but also the most relevant thing.
I think of it like, so like one day we will stop harming our planet because everyone will be driving electric cars. There won't be any more pollution, like blah, blah, blah. This day will come, many, many years from now. And the question is, does the Earth die before that day comes? So I think of it like, we have to get there as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think of it like
we only have to get there just quickly enough.
Well, exactly. So my theory is that just like, and this is a bit of a macabre comparison, but like an alcoholic's liver is deteriorating, soaking up, filtering all this alcohol. Well, As soon as that alcoholic stops drinking liquor, beer, whatever every day, the liver has time to heal. And our planet perhaps has the same healing capability because it's organic, just like a liver is. So when we get to like that zero emission world that we all hope to see one day, the earth will then heal and then, maybe survive forever until we fall into the sun.
So you open by denying global warming.
I had to throw that in at the end.
I liked it. You open by denying global. Should I just end it there? No, we're only at 5 minutes.
No,
you open by denying global warming, and then went on to say that we're killing the planet. Why does that feel like a contradiction to me?
Well, I mean, I don't think that global warming is the biggest threat to the planet, really. It's like, how many degrees has the temperature rose on planet Earth in the last 100 years? I don't know. Was it like 2 degrees? 1
yeah,
degree?
I was going to say 2, something like that.
So, and then I have actually seen the glaciers in Alaska. I forget which national park it was, but the last 100 years, the glaciers have receded by miles. And it's like, well, that looks bad. Like something's not right here.
Lake Mead right now in outside of Las Vegas, terribly low.
Yes. So it's not like, but it's not the warming of the earth, or it's at least not the warming of the earth alone doing that. Like we're digging up as many things as we can. We're sucking everything we can out of the bottom of the ocean. Like there's oil everywhere. There's fracking, which is terrible for like drinking water and things like that. Like if we can figure out a way to provide energy, like electricity, like I came from like an electrical family, and I feel like the common denominator of power in the world is electricity. So like we're figuring out new ways to make electricity that don't require us digging up parts of the earth. And then you have like developers of giant neighborhoods that just come in and clear cut a bunch of trees instead of like planning the neighborhood to maybe have a little bit of shade and maybe make the neighborhood walkable. Like that type of stuff is also killing the planet.
Yeah, it's interesting that you set that aside from global warming, and I think that's a valuable perspective to realize that, like, to try and boil it down and attribute it just like this single phrase, global warming, doesn't really capture all of what's going on exactly like you described. And that's good. I'm glad you elaborated on that. So you're on board with sending bubbles into space. I
mean, give it a shot. Look, the picture looks cool as hell. I would like to see this equilibrium space. Like in space, you're like floating already. And then just imagine if you were in the spot between the Earth and the sun that was like just completely spinning. Equally, like it must be like another level of like ecstasy, some like drug that no one's ever heard of before. Elon Musk can charge like $500 million to get there.
Yeah, that would be, it would. I can understand why like these billionaires want to go to space. Like going to space, if I had the ability, if I had a ship right now, I'd probably go. That seems pretty cool. Yeah. Seems pretty dangerous, but fuck it, I'd do it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, why not? Look, kind of like, an amusement park ride. We both know a millionaire that is probably going to space soon.
Soon? Nice. Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so fun story. Definitely would love to see. I mean, to your point, even if this does impact global warming, and this is kind of what I was saying, it's not really addressing any of the rest of those issues that we also have to get under control. But I guess, sure, why not? Go for it.
Did I mention dumping stuff into the water supply? Like, geez.
Oh, terrible.
Like these bubbles in space aren't going to do anything to help the paper plant like 40 miles from my house from using the water as their dumping ground, but only on the weekends because that's not when the regulators are at home.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you, dude, Saturday and Sunday, every week, it's like all these weird smells, like not close to my house, but you go a little further away and you're like, something's not right here. And why does it only happen on Saturdays?
It doesn't even have to be industrial waste. I live in a very rural area and the farms will fertilize with cow manure or whatever. You can smell it for miles. That creates nitrates in the water that are in all of our wells. So we have to have special filters and water softeners and all this stuff to make the drinking water here out of our wells, far from any industry, safe.
Yeah. I don't want to get started on the food supply.
Totally safe and
They're trying
abundant.
to kill us, Mike. They're trying to kill us in every way they can.
Wow. And I thought talking to Peter and John was depressing.
Sorry.